Welcoming you back to Crypto's Juiciest News, baby dolls. BTC, 122,000 American dollars. I've got a lot of juicy info coming your way. We have Richard Hart posting about pegging. We're going to talk about real-world assets, stablecoin, SuperCycle, the Google search term for altcoins. I had to make an emergency breaking news video for you a couple of hours ago, friends. Yes, it's actually breaking the all-time high. This is intergalactic bullish. This is wild. All of that coming your way and more, friends. We're even going to look at US Fed. They're now definitely cutting rates in the next Fed meeting. But for now, we are moving through the 5th green monthly candle in a row as we're checking out BTC here. And we always start with the monthly just so we get an idea of where we are. Yeah, friends, even though we aren't anywhere near where I think we're going to stop, okay, we are 5 green monthly candles in a row. This is nothing to there's nothing to ignore, right? And if we look at all the past comparisons of crypto cycles, the truth is, during this period of time, which is Bitcoin rising and then altcoins rising more, it's usually, friends, there's only one of two times this happens. One, Bitcoin breaks the all-time high, or it's towards the end of the cycle, okay? Now, is this time going to be different? I don't know, but I'm just showing you when Bitcoin broke the all-time high, we're definitely through that part, right? That was probably last year, that tiny bit of a fake Trump rally. Now we are moving on here. That's why a lot of people, I'm going to show you some blockchain backer charts and everything out here that might imply the cycle is over soon, but I'm just going to stick to my guns, man. I'm looking at that OTHERS-BTC and the business cycle, and I'm saying no, okay? Let's crack on through, friends. This is the Ethereum chart. Ethereum busts through $4,700. We need some Pumpy G music for it. Cranking it through 4,700. This is a definitive break. You never know. It might have one like little scare thing where it comes back and it like tests some sort of crashy crash thing here on the little wick of a candle before it continues up higher. 4,700 is very big, okay? We are right near the all-time high, and this is where all the big action is meant to come and play out. This is the Bitcoin weekly chart. Remember, we're just moving along. We have a green weekly super trend. Everything's still saying that we are like right on track. We have the next Fibonacci's 150, 200, and 240. I really hope we get to that 240, but you never know, friends. You never know. Something to think about, right? We started 2024 of BTC. We started at like 40K, right? And then we went up to like 80K, right? Around there. So I'm just wondering if, look what we started January of this year. We started Bitcoin at like, 90K. I wonder if we're going to finish at the end of the year at 180. That'd be interesting. And then you never know, man. Maybe in the next, January, February of next year, Bitcoin shocks everyone and it taps like 240. But then maybe by June, it finishes with a red candle. Okay, I'm really thinking about those 6-month green candle patterns, friends. That's what I'm really thinking about them, okay? They're just showing you, like, it doesn't matter what we think. Remember, it doesn't matter what we think about price valuations and stuff out here. We know for a fact, thanks to Soylana, we know the dangers you run into when your asset in crypto is just running for a very, very, very long time, okay? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles here. This is a 6-month chart, and this is the longest ever. We've never, ever had 6 green close. So how do you finish the 6th green close? Well, we got to finish up in December. And this, man, there'll be very high odds of a red one after that. But like I said, it could still trick everybody. It could like move up in January, February next year, but finish, say, let's say we finish 180K by the end of this year. If we just finish June next year, June 30th, if we finish that under 180K, then it's a red candle and it kind of sorts itself out. So we'll see. Now, the total crypto industry has crushed through the 3 trillion mark. It's up to the $4 trillion mark. I really think, man, we deserve a $10 trillion industry, maybe even higher. I hope we get there, man. That'll be cracker. That'll be, if you look at it, friends, if Bitcoin dominance is 40% and we've hit 10 trillion, so if we're up here, you can just basically reverse engineer rough ratios. You get a Bitcoin 200K, Ethereum 16K, others has gone up 10x, stablecoin SuperCycle, maybe that's 2 trillion of it. Now, you don't exactly have stablecoins at 2 trillion, but you never know. You never know. I mean, like, they're forecasting, I think, 2 trillion by 2028 to 2030. But you don't know, right? What happens is as well during this bull market mania, the others index, friends. That's why it's a bit of fugazi, which I think is very, very important for us to speak about now. Remember, the others index, friends. A lot of people, they say, look, the cycle's over soon because we're moving up. Because, for example, I'll show you, friends. I'll show you some examples. We'll go through BCB, so blockchain backer. Well, a lot of the common things that KOLs will say is they'll say, look, man, your altcoin sucks. Mine are good. everyone thinks their altcoin's going to be good. Do you notice, friends? Everyone believes in their own altcoin, right? So everyone's like, oh, I'm definitely going to win, even if they're a KOL, right? No one ever says, could have a crap one, right? No one ever thinks like that. So the thing is, right, firstly, everyone says your altcoin sucks and that not everything's going to break the high, which everyone agrees. Then they go, oh, but I have the answer, which is it's always interesting, right? That's kind of showing you people always think they can win at the casino, which is funny. But also on top of that, people then, what they'll say is they'll go, look, there's new altcoins and stuff that appear and, your one doesn't have to come back and the cycle could be over, which is true. But your friend Somi here I constructed this OTHERS-BTC ratio for a reason, okay? Others, friends, what is others? Others is an index of everything outside of the top 10 up to like rank 200 back before the market caps get too small. So you see this is pretty much, it starts counting Corridanzo, this ChainLink, wrapped staked Ethereum, all of these things down here. It starts counting all of these, okay? And actually, and further. So this index, when the bull market is here, okay, if it's really towards the end, OTHERS-BTC just goes up and your altcoins are going up as much, okay? Because OTHERS-BTC, friends, you know what happens at the bull? When everyone's made a lot of money, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever the new unicorn winner is, okay? Whenever people made money, it invites a lot of capital outside of the world, like TradFi, Boomer, Johnson & Johnson, Baby Bum Powder purchases. Those people, they come in, and what happens is new projects form. And they form around the narrative of whatever just pumped, okay? And do we have precedent for this? Yes, pretty much every cycle. So this is what happened, right? So if you look at here, right? See this, friends, look at this. Everyone knows we peaked our altcoins in May 2021. But look at this, OTHERS-BTC made a new freaking high. How the hell did that happen, right? Well, you know what happened? Many new projects appeared in the index. They did ICOs and they minted their way through. Yeah, so they do ICOs and then they launch. Everyone thinks they're going to get rich. And they just start printing themselves into the index. They haven't earned their way there. But what happens is they kind of did earn their way there. But who earns it? The people supplying the tokens. Yeah, because what ends up happening, friends, so why did this index, why did it go up like this? Well, I'll just give you an idea of the things that are helping to boost it, okay? So, for example, up here, friends, okay, you had already seen narratives of DeFi 1, okay? You'd now seen narratives of DeFi 2. So, DeFi 1 is ChainLink, RWA, Uniswap, and stuff like here. So, a lot of projects, they do ICOs, they say, oh, well, let's make another RWA thing. Let's do another Uniswap thing, right? Let's do another Oracle thing, okay, another Chainlink thing. So that's number one. Number two, there's other narratives as well. Gaming, metaverse, okay. There was alternative layer ones. So what actually happened is throughout here, people just did ICOs for alternative layer ones and they just mint themselves there. And what does minting mean? Basically means they participate in ICO and then it trades somewhere, but not everyone's got their tokens unlocked. So you'll see that their valuation is like, maybe it will say 1 billion market cap, but really not everyone's got their tokens out, right? Maybe it's meant to be a fully diluted of 10 billion, but still not. But everyone's still waiting to see what happens. So as you can see, it's almost like a cheat code. But you got to think about it. Why did this happen? This is interesting. It happened because people come in and they'd already made a lot of money in the bull market. It was basically the money had rotated out of the big spears, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and whatever it is was leading the unicorn run. Do you see? We haven't had that yet. Okay, now look at us today. We haven't had that at all. We've had these two little dog poop. We haven't had any narratives appear. We talk about N-word narratives, but what I mean is like just sectors of coins blowing the roof off. We haven't seen that. People might say, oh, what about the pump fund Soylana trenches? Friends, the funny part is, okay, Solana's dominance is 2%. It's literally 2.5% of the whole industry. So when you talk about Soylana and the trenches, it is so small. It's just that they're very loud and they have Twitch streamers and stuff. So you think they're a lot. There's nothing, dude. They're small. They're small. But people out there making money and stuff like here, they're literally their friends. They're rinsing people who are thinking they're gonna win, but they're getting destroyed now anyway. Okay, so we haven't seen anything like that. OTHERS-BTC is still low, and I haven't even got into the main juice, right? Which is the business cycle, friends. The business cycle has not ticked up whatsoever, like at all. All right. So, and we know altcoins are an extension. They follow the business cycle and they have not ticked up whatsoever. So once we cross that 52 mark, I guess the real game will actually start. Let's show you some quick charts. We have Bitcoin dominance still continuing to tick down. Now, friends, I just want to tell you about this coins, all our meme coins, right? Even like, Land Wolf, we have the Poker Center stuff, we have Digwit, but there's so many, I just can't even remember them, all their names all at once, okay? There's just so many. The thing is, we're all looking at the charts like, man, it hurts so much. But would you believe, friends, this is just how it works, right? Look at this. We are still, look where we were in March 2024 when we had Pepe and stuff running. Friends, Bitcoin dominance was 52%. Would you believe that? It was 52. We went all the way up to 66. Okay, Ben Copen's still calling for 70. And now we're just down to like 59. You see that? So, if you're looking at us, friends, it could be like a state of cope. It really could. There's no guarantees. Do you see it right here? Look at this enormous difference, by the way. Like literally, this is where, friends, Bitcoin dominance was literally 52%. Okay, and we are all the way up. Look at this. We are here after. Oh, it's starting to happen now. You see that? So it's pretty much, friends, it's a reckoning of biblical proportions. Everyone's destroyed. Now, you want to know why? You know why. I just told you, right? It's the business cycle, man. The business cycle, unfortunately, this is the risk we have with altcoins, right? We have liquidity risk. So the longer time it takes for the business cycle to basically kick up again, the longer the time it takes. See, with altcoins, it's pure emotional trading. It's pure attention. So if something's down 90%, if someone needs $500, they will sell that altcoin down 90%. They'll sell it down, and even if it's down 95%. So we've seen people all the time, man. This is what happens, right? If people need, I need like $80 to do something, they'll literally just sell some altcoin, even though it's down 98%, and they will do that. Or they'll just go do that to chase something else. Okay, which you don't see that in the stock market, friends, often. Okay, in stock market, that's a super, super rare correlation one event. Okay, but in crypto, that's literally reality. So in the stock market, you don't find people, this company, maybe they have okay fundamentals. You don't find people going, the PE, price to earnings ratio, it's a relative measure. It's meant to hover anywhere from like 8 to like 25. Okay, you don't find people saying, I'm selling this PE at a 2 because I want to go chase Apple on leverage. Okay, just the stock market's way more mature than that. You don't have people like that in there anywhere near that. Okay, if you have stuff like that, it's literally the extreme correlation one event, and it's zombie virus explosive stuff, and then they print money and they fix it anyway. Okay, in crypto, that's our everyday life. Every day we have to play some angel music, okay, and swim in the sea together. That's our life. Literally, our life is just swimming with all these lost souls. People are selling stuff down, and then it makes it even worse in crypto. After they sell, they go out and they just FUD the crap out of it. That's it. They sell, they go on Twitter, they go, hey, this thing is absolute trash. I'm leaving, and here's why. So that's what makes it more tough. Okay, but then it's also double tough, because when the bull market comes around, if the community's not around there with a loud megaphone, you get drowned out to all the new competition. So as you get to see with altcoins, right, especially all our altcoins, friends, like we are nowhere near. Friends, right now, Ethereum is still a literal brown shoe. I've still given it a brown shoe emoji because it's a piece of trash, okay? Friends, do you remember they gave us the Ethereum ETF around here? April, May or something. You know what I mean? Like, we've got such a long way to go, man. We've got a long way to go. I would refuse to believe it's over. Like, I don't like talking like this, by the way. I don't like talking like how I'm talking, because I've been warning about this stuff from 3-4 years ago. But like, it feels like we're just getting started, dude. Like the economy, I'm not saying this stuff. I'm looking at this data. I'm like, and by the way, friends, here's the thing. Whenever in my past, 10, 15 years of markets, ratios, everything out here, okay? Whenever I'm sitting there scratching my head for a long time, every time you doubt yourself, you're like, man, there must be something really big that I'm missing. Nope. It actually ends up being the trade of a lifetime. Yeah, it is. I'm like, what am I missing here? What am I missing? Every single time like this, it ends up being a huge thing that, like, a spread comes back, everyone makes a lot of money. It ends up being something huge. Okay, that's what I think is coming. Because we're looking at all the fundamental data, right? And that's why highest value content in crypto. We step outside crypto. I'm looking at the actual economy. Okay, if you look at this that's why I'll show you the business ISM, friends, because you can't argue with that. Why? Because showing that altcoins are an extension of the business cycle, it pretty much You give everyone what they want to hear. So people who are outside the system, you tell them, hey, we have no fundamentals. We're literally just based off how people feel. That's it. If they feel rich, they're going to come and blow money in the casino to try and multiply it. Okay. And if they feel poor, they're out. So people say, oh, you got no fundamental value, right? But then you kind of have a discussion with them. You're like, you know, stock market's like that too, right? You know, they just keep printing money and they dilute away from the middle class to basically make everyone's emotions pretty much damper down. You know that, right? But that's a conversation for another video, right? So that's you get to see, yeah? And then also people who are like, you know, all of us turbo long bullish, okay? So remember this, it satisfies everyone when you think about it like that. We were turbo long bullish, like, you know, like eventually this economy is going to have to kick up. So we'll see. Now, I'm quickly going to show you, friends, some blockchain backer charts of where he thinks we are right now. I've been showing you this pretty much almost every day, friends. It's right here. So on the left, we have Bitcoin. Yes, and on the right, we have Bitcoin from the past. Okay, he really thinks this next part that comes is this up and then it's all over. Okay, that's what he thinks happened. Up and then it's all over and literally game over. Look, man, it could be. It could be. We'll see, man. We'll see. How far does XRP go? You know, is he going to change his mind because XRP doesn't hit $10? Whatever stalls at around $5.50 and then goes back down to $3.20 in a crash or something. We'll see. I also want to give you an idea, just, yeah, so you can see the Bitcoin dominance as well, just like everything else. The next big major level seems to be around this 40% zone. So that'll be the next key area. Don't know if it's going to hit there. Hopefully it hits there. I really hope, man, friends, I really, really, really hope we get this double bubble alt season. We come down, alt season wave 1. Everyone thinks it's over. Surprise alt season wave 2. And then it's actually over. This makes everyone think that the 4-year cycle is broken. Wouldn't that be poetic? Wouldn't that be poetic? You come down, everyone buys Bitcoin early because they think it's over, and then it's actually a believer's cycle, and these people actually come back in, and they're like, no, this time is actually different. And you go, no, that was actually the double wave. Yeah, man, that would be poetic. That would literally be, that's how markets, you know, how they move. They reward you, but also they can trap the mid-curvers. This is another look of that BTC chart I showed you, where the right-hand side is some big capitulation collapse. We'll see, man. We'll see. Seems to be following it. I know it feels like there's no odds of this happening, but like, what if Bitcoin goes down and it sends the Bitcoin dominance down? We'll see. I know, but because what I just said, people give 0% chance of that because altcoins are the leverage stuff, right? But Bitcoin's so extraordinarily expensive. So how's this going to play out? Need more time. Now let's cover on the cracker news of the day, friends. So Richard Hart has posted a GIF titled Pegging regarding the PulseChain train. Could it get any more obvious that pDAI is the future? I'm going to show you his posted picture that you can see right here. This is literally it, friends. So this picture, it's a very old PC kind of meme GIF from like, I remember this like from 15 years ago. It's meant to be, if you know what I mean, it's an act in the bedroom, okay, involving some items, you know, like a lamp. Some people use doorknobs. You know, some people use a TV remote controller, okay? And yes, but the thing is, if you actually, he's talking about the PulseChain train. Now, the thing is, if you actually, thank you to Mr. Grand Inquisitor, I will be inquisiting about you. He's written probably nothing. Look at this. It's an actual, look at this, pegging GIFs. It's an actual pegging GIF. You see that? That's where it's come from. The original thing is pegging GIF. And it's kind of funny, friends. This is, what's interesting is just, you know, he's dropping so many hints. But like, friends, it's put all my theory into practice, okay? The hints don't matter unless the price is up. That's it. Now, you might say, hey, but Somi, the price is up. No. It just means it hasn't hit the point of inflection. It's still in a I don't believe what's happening rally. Yeah? Disbelief rally. So disbelief is in, I don't believe this is anything. It's kind of like this is... Disbelief started from the Disbelief Rally from the Wall Street cheat sheet. Remember, it started from the real S&P 500, the Dow Jones. So this is where they model it off, right? And this is exactly what happens. The stock market, the S&P 500, you check all the data, it bottoms out before the economy. Okay, so it bottoms out and then it starts rallying. Then the economy is still tanking. So, but the first rally part, it's called disbelief because people don't believe it's going up because they're like, but the economy is still getting worse. They disbelieve it. Then the disbelief turns into a hated rally because now they realized the economy later on, as this thing, because the economy was basically lagging the stock market. Stock market's always forward-looking. So the stock market's gone up higher, and then these people are super salty because they didn't buy the dip. Now they're waiting for the economy to recover. By the time the economy recovers, this thing's already like 6 months off the low. That's the S&P 500. That's pretty much how it works. Okay, and it happens the same thing in crypto. So that's why this would be a hated rally coming up here, 2 or 3 cents. Friends, it would be hated beyond imagination because they know, like, you literally, firstly, everyone watches my channel, number one. Number two, you see my tweets, dude. Well, you think I'm gonna let you forget that on Gravestone Emoji Day you called it dead, and when this thing goes back to the all-time high, it is up a whopping 119x. This ain't no ordinary altcoin either, friend. This is what will kill everybody. This is literally the world's first decentralized native stable ping pong coin, whatever it's meant to be. It's a first soccer unicorn. Everyone knows about it. We got all the memes. We got the pegging memes. We have friends, literally dozens and dozens and dozens of hours of content. I've made over 5,500 videos. Okay, so literally, there's a thesis. There's on-chain evidence. There are hints. There's freaking Richard Hart posting a pegging GIF is literally right in front of their face. That's why the hatred will be huge. But look, if you're in PulseChain, don't forget, I do love and appreciate you. But you got to think about it, like, even if you do capitulate and buy in at 1 cent, it's still 100x to $1 if the thesis turns out correct. You know what I mean? Like, it's, oh golly gee, I got to buy up. It's only 100x up. You know what I mean? So you still have you still have a unicorn. That's why it's a blessing that this thing even exists. And let's say you capitulate through the all-time highs and you buy at 4 cents. It's still 25x away to $1, man. You know what I mean? Like, friends, people in Bitcoin, if Bitcoin goes a 2x from here, they're going to be naked in the streets at 2x. Okay, and I've just told you the first capitulation from here, it hasn't even hit a cent yet. It's 150x away to $1. You can do whatever you want, though. It could go to 0, though. That's another thing. Actually, it did go to 0 twice, right? So Google Trend searches, friends, for altcoins have broken their all-time high from the 2017 cycle. And I actually had to make my breaking special episode video here for you, friends. So this is it, altcoins. You see that? Absolutely rocketing. This is monstrous. Look at this. This is the 2017 high where we had the double bubble alt season. Like, this is going through the roof. Now, why is this happening? Well, you know how Trump has been saying crypto, crypto, crypto. I like crypto and stuff like here. And you're wondering, like, why aren't we having an alt season? Like I said, Habibi, okay, someone needs to do the ignition candle first. And someone, I mean, like a group of whales and a couple of people. We're just going to run out of sellers. That's it. We get enough buyers are coming. Okay, that is all the powder keg. Okay, we don't live in look. Markets don't work such that the president just starts saying crypto and we will have an alt season. It doesn't work like that. You got to think about it like when he says it, he's basically loading ammo into a gun. Okay, that's what it is. You're shooting bullets at a target. You got a machine gun, but you don't know. Okay, how many bullets is he going to load in the clip? You know, is he going to load something like 5 bullets, you know, Joe Biden, very, very soft and flaccid, 5 bullets, or is he going to load like, you know, 30 bullets, the full clip, and then he's going to like get an extra magazine and put it in his back pocket? That's pretty much what he's doing, but he still hasn't fired the gun, okay? Someone's going to fire the gun, and that's when everything cranks. And obviously, then we have the questions of when moon. Hopefully, we're at the point of inflection now, and it's actually time to fire the gun. Treasury Secretary Bessent says he is pushing for a ban on single stock trading in Congress. The American people deserve better than politicians like Nancy Pelosi with hedge fund level returns. And I've told you to refer to Somi's exotic top signal list. Now, you notice he says they're going to ban you. You can own the index, but you can't buy individual stocks. And if you check out my exotic top signal list, all right, so we've already ticked off Bitcoin ETF, Ethereum ETF, Andrew Tate launches a coin. So I've just let them there, fam, because I was conceptualizing these before they happen, you know? So I was so shocked Andrew Tate just launched a coin straight away. He's like, oh, it's part of crypto, right? He was railing on it in 2023. He said, it's a scam, the matrix is a scam. Here's my coin. It's kind of funny, right? Now, I have all these exotic top signals. I made these. These are not, there's no charts for these. I made these, friends. I put these together. I've been here 18 hours a day. I don't know if they'll hit at all. I don't know. We'll just see. Okay. US Congress have self-banned from stocks. That's literally the first one here. We've got Ty Lopez coming back. Public ICO, $1 billion raise. Okay. You can already tell the public ICO one's going to hit because Pump Fund made $600 million in their ICO, sold out in 10 minutes. You know? So when these start hitting, that's why, friends, I'd like to get to a point by the end of the cycle where, like, you know, maybe, you never know, man. Maybe like, freaking these have all hit. Maybe there's just 2 that haven't. And we look at them and I'm like, man, out of the 11, we've got hit like 9. It's kind of like telling you, look, man, like how much longer we got left. Like you got to hedge at this point. You have to do something. Okay, you don't want to sell maybe you don't want to sell 80%. You can sell 25, sell 30. I mean, like look how many of the things have hit off, right? You got to remember, friends. So why so this is cute, isn't it? It is decidedly so. Here's orange juice, 3 ice cubes here. The predictor. Do you see why did I leave these Andrew Tate launches a coin? It's my own note for you and I, because I was literally, friends, he was literally coming out saying, crypto's a scam, crypto's a scam. And I was saying, this guy's going to launch a coin, bro. No one, but you gotta understand this, no attention. Everyone does literally, you know what? Everyone still thinks I'm smoking crack. You know what I mean? But back then they thought I was not just smoking crack. I haven't slept in 5 days. I'm going for another hit. That's how much crack they thought I was smoking back then. Okay. And I said, no. I'm more of a 4-day kind of guy, not 5. So it just is a reminder, like saying, hey, the prophecy played out. Even to like, I thought, no, I was even shocked myself, by the way, when he just released the coin. So you never know. Maybe the other things play out too. That's what I'm saying. Ethereum ETF inflows, friends, were 520 million. They dwarfed the wee Bitcoin ETF inflows of a wee 66 million. Okay, so literally that's wild, right? Remember, friends, Bitcoin used to do 10 times the volume. This is at the worst point. It was doing 10 times the volume of Ethereum, higher. Now it's inverted. Now Ethereum's doing 9 times its volume. Man, that's big. That's big. It's telling you the ratio, man. It's telling you the ratios are the ones that go way, way, way higher. Also, based off the ratios, Ethereum holders from 2021, your break-even price is 9,600. Okay, because of the ETH-BTC ratio, which I will now kindly show you. ETH-BTC ratio, I'm not even going to top ticket. I'm just saying 0.08. Okay, so Ethereum, for the ratio to go back up here, based off Bitcoin's price today, Ethereum must be 9,600. So if you sell Ethereum, so it's okay, friends, to swing offside and swing down. That's just a part of life, okay? But for someone to sell Ethereum, you're selling at a loss if you were here in 2021. Unless you get to 9,600. But you'll find that people don't even care about that. They're just because they're trading off emotion anyway. But I'm just showing you, like, yes, we got a long way to go. And that's if Bitcoin stays here. What if Bitcoin goes to 200K? Well, now the hurdle's 15,000. How about that? Charmly. Hope he does it. Hope he gets us there. Real world asset, RWA tokenization platform, Open Eden, partners with the Bank of New York Watermelon to manage and custody assets backing their Moody A-rated tokenized treasury fund T-bill. This is huge start for stablecoin SuperCycle, friends, because T-bills is just, okay, it's like, okay, man, there's poop, and then there's like a sewer line of poop in a poop factory. That's what the T-bills are. It's government poop fiat. They're minting it out. And now we have real world assets. It's kind of funny. We call them real world assets. Oh, it's a real world thing. Like it's, bro, government is just as much as Fugazi as everything else, But there's an important point, big asterisk as well. It's backed by an army with guns and institutions that can arrest you if you don't pay taxes, and that can like block out, invaders into a country. So that's totally different to our peaceful world here in cryptocurrency land, where we are effectively digital countries without borders. You can't put a gun to someone's head and tell them they can't move somewhere else. So it's interesting the stuff we do to do that. It is kind of funny, like just how we have to get everyone's attention to make everyone notice us, right? Because you can't use guns on the internet. You have to persuade. Okay, you have to persuade, and you can't just persuade. You actually got to give people good deals. You actually got to make people believe in something, make them feel like they belong somewhere, which is very interesting, right? Real world assets also include stablecoin SuperCycle, and it's also very bullish for Chainlink. Friends, I've been hearing a lot about Chainlink. Some people even come out and congratulate me. Wow, look, good on the thesis. And I'm just saying, Habibi, save your applause for me, bro. This is a total disaster. Chainlink is down against BTC 87% in 5 years, dude. You know what I mean? Like, look, I've conceded that this piece of trash, maybe all it gets to is top ticks here for like a day, right? This would be, and by the way, this would be a gargantuan winner. This would be Chainlink rallying 5.5x versus Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin does a 2 from here, ChainLink does 2 times 5.5, which gives you 11x. And if we go to the Link USD chart, right, so all I've done is I've taken it to the fib, right? If you go to Link USD chart, it's 23 bucks. Where would 11x take us? It should take us 1,000%, $262 here. That would be it, okay? And, you know, does it have to hit that BTC ratio? It doesn't, but, like, man, they avoided SEC. They actually, they got the theory of the thesis right. So just to let you know, friends, ChainLink, because it's not a retailer product, okay? ChainLink, their bet was, since 2018, is that every company is going to have a chain. There's going to be chains everywhere, and they're all going to swap assets. And they said, like, if we're going to have 1,000 companies making 1,000 chains, layer 1s, layer 2s, whatever they are, they can't hire engineers to speak to all the other 1,000 people and figure out how to connect the stuff. So ChainLink made a solution. That's why it's called ChainLink, right? They said, hey, we make one big thing. Everyone hooks into us. And then we have what we call the chain, the standard, okay? The CCIP. It's literally, we have a standard protocol just like the internet. So everyone hooks into us and everybody can just go and get data out here. And that's pretty much it. And then Swift chose them. That's the funny part. But XRP pumped anyway. And XRP went up and ChainLink didn't even move. Even, it's funny, Swift literally said, hey, the Chainlink model actually works. We're not going to use XRP. It doesn't matter. XRP went up. Just showing you the tech doesn't matter, man. It's all about the believers' army. Standard Chartered raises Ethereum forecast to 7,500 by the end of 2025. They raised it. Friends, they had a $4,000 target. Do you remember that? I remember that. They're like, 4,000, bro. You've been drinking a lot of soy and Soylana. They now have a $25,000 target by the end of 2028. I know what you're saying, because I'm saying it too. I'm like, sorry, you got to be a bit, worried about junk like that. Like, bro, you said it was literally game over. Now you're saying we're the future of finance. I bet if you spoke to them, they go, oh, but the narrative is different now. The narrative, it's all about the narrative. Did you see Tom Lee in the narrative? Let's look at the soy ETH ratio, by the way. Just have a quick look here. It's still really, it's like it's dunking now. You got to ask yourself, by the way, friends, look, it's down 52% from the high. Be honest with yourself, okay? Be honest with yourself. If you're holding Soylana, I just want to tell you something. You know, you don't need me to tell you, bro. Nothing in crypto as an altcoin drops 50%, bro. 50% is for chumps, okay? Nothing drops 50%, bro, when it's done. Nothing. You know how much they drop, right? And if that is the bot, you just, you need me to tell you. You don't need me to tell you. Also, it's funny. Everyone was celebrating, friends, literally this. It literally went up. I'm not joking. I saw some, like, it went up literally 2% and they'll celebrate. Ah, man. You ran up for a year and a half, guys. I'm telling, like, a year and a half. Not 1.5 weeks, not 1.5 months, 1.5 years. You literally won the whole game. What more do you want? Moving on, friends. The Antichrist, Peter Thiel, he's bullish IPO. So bullish is their exchange. What a trash name, by the way. Bullish is literally the Antichrist. My gosh. They hit $1.1 billion for the IPO. They are oversubscribed by 20x. And they have a $5.4 billion market cap value, right? It's probably all just because of his name. Now, why I'm just showing you that, friends, is we're heating up. Things are going to start to oversubscribe with ICOs and stuff. Now, here's the thing. I did all my ICOs last year. We're all down 90% in literally everything. And it breaks my heart. Because even like, friends, remember like Drift? They made a game, bro. They literally have a working product. Market goes, bleh, down 90%. It's such an embarrassment. It literally became JPEG token launching casino dog shit. And everybody who builds something just gets dunked. So that's the business cycle. Hopefully they come back. But personally, this is me. You can do what you want. I don't want to participate in ICOs because I promise, like, by the way, it's August 2025. I said I don't want to touch ICOs in 2025. I don't want to enter new stuff. This is just me. I said this many years ago. I don't want to break my rule. I feel like if I break the rule, I'll regret it because what ends up happening, friends, is okay, this is the thing. Okay, this is the tragedy of the commons. Okay, if everyone wants to dump the ICO, the VCs and the investors, they beg the team to give them only like a 3-month lockup. Yeah. So you think, oh, this is really cool. I get to take my money in 3 months. But actually what happens is everyone around you, they're also dumping. That's why you have a 3-month lockup. If you have something where it's like a legit project and you go, oh, this thing's going to be up, this going to be, you'll start getting 5% unlock in 12 months. You got to think about, hey, why are you doing it now then? You really got to think about like, why now? Why are you starting to release it now? That's for the team to cash out so you can get more money, because I've got to wait through this whole 12 months. And, so good luck to everyone out here. Keep getting DMs from everyone about ICO. Look, ICO for what, bro? By the way, show me something you haven't seen before. Show me. Where are they? We've seen them all. Oh, layer 3 chain. Oh, another DEX. Oh, some protocol no one cares about or gives a shit about. We've seen them all, bro. Where's the unicorns? And by the way, there is a unicorn here. And there's no ICO for it, okay? And by the way, it's 150x upside anyway. People, friends, in ICOs, VCs, I'm not joking, they literally dump on a 2x, okay? A 2x, because it's 100% yield for them, right? They dump and they get the Christmas bonus. So if something good comes my way, it's going to take a lot, you know what I mean? Look what happened with Clip Finance. They had an idea, just remember, have a Clip Finance. They had the idea, they went to a company, the company literally backstabbed them. Literally said, guess what? We're going to steal your idea. We're going to go to the broker ourselves. See you later. What a shark eat shark world, man. Ethereum has flipped Netflix. Hopefully more's to come. You have Binance CZ called out CNBC for showing Justin Sun's photo while discussing CZ himself. Very, very funny out there. They actually put Justin Sun out here. So we'll see. We'll see how all that plays out. It's a good idea just to give you an idea of we're still a bit early. You know what I mean? They're making these mistakes and stuff. One day it won't be like that, friends. One day we'll have some expert there saying, here's 5 reasons why XRP could hit $500. Hopefully we get to that point. Oh, by the way, that reminds me. At the top, keep this in mind. You guys have to message me back in Telegram in case I forget. Let's try and remember. At the top of the Altseason 2017, the second wave, CNBC made, I think it was CNBC, how to buy XRP. Okay, and then at the bottom, oh, here it is. It was $2.57. At the bottom, they made a video how to sell it. Okay, so I'm just saying, friends, if we're repeating, and by the way, Donald Trump was president back then too. So you never know, man. Maybe at the very top, they make another video, how to buy XRP. That might be like a weird esoteric top signal. And friends, if you didn't have me guiding you, you would never have believed it, man. They literally made a video, how to buy XRP at the literal top. XRP's top was like $3.20. It was literally $2.57. They got how to buy it. Just to show you, right, as well, when they finally make it, there's still like another, think about that. There's another like 20 to 30% in, because people who listen to that and get in, there's a momentum part, but it's literally, you're getting distributed on. That's the most important thing. Here we have, friends, as well, an update. Norway's wealth fund, so not to be confused with Yesway, the country of Norway, their wealth fund increased Bitcoin holdings. They now hold 7,100 BTC via company stake. So it's a treasury super cycle, man. Everyone's getting a treasury. Hey, let's buy I can't believe it, man. Could you believe they're actually putting crypto? All these countries, all these companies, we deserve a double bubble alt season, man. Come on. Like, it's literally, see, this is the thing, right? Here's the thing. Okay. In the next bear market, when all of these things just don't work out, because, 90%, it's altcoins, bro. It's going to be hard for you to believe that it's possible again, because you're like, wait, we finally convinced countries and governments to buy our bags, right? Who can possibly get bigger than that after? You see, that's just going to be the next. That's why we got to take advantage of this now. See, they don't know this thing doesn't work yet. And what I mean by doesn't work, as in, bro, you're just trading volatile shit. You know that? You got to build stuff. You got to contribute to the network. They don't know that yet. They don't know that. They think, oh, we just buy it and it's cool. We make money. That's what we want. Okay. Donald Trump said he's going to name a new Fed Reserve chairman early with a short list. He's narrowed to 3 or 4 candidates, and they're probably all going to be mega doves. He's going to choose probably a mega dove. Remember, doves fly up, hawks fly down. Dove fly up as in someone who hopefully comes out and says, you know what? The appropriate rates might be a couple of percentage points lower. He also says, funny enough, the Fed should lower rates to 1%. And now the US Fed has a rate cut out of 99% odds to cut. 99% chance to cut. Now, I want to just quickly show you one thing. Okay, I'll just tell you this, friends. I'll cover it again in Yummy Update. But you're probably scared because, when they cut rates, the recession's coming. Okay, there's a caveat to that, though. Thank you to the baby doll. The baby doll in Telegram showed me there's data for this. When the S&P 500 is near the all-time highs and they cut rates, the forward 12-month return is bullish 100% of the time. So if they cut rates and the stock market's strong, it's go time, which is, I did not know that, right? Which is interesting. So is this time different? Yeah, we'll see. Estonian banker Rain Lomas, he bought 75K worth of ETH. It's now worth $1 billion, but he lost access to his wallet. Poor guy. I might cover that again in Yummy Update. Michael Saylor, friends, now holds 77 billion of BTC. And he had a Folman, Goldman Slugs, and JP Mosquito executive indicted for gambling away $4 million in investor funds in his online casino company. Just showing you this finance and gambling and stuff out here. It's in our blood, man. It's in our blood. And we're going to shill it to the government and everything's going to crank and it's going to be great. But for now, let's look to the stars and hope that BTC and Ethereum keep playing ball. This is ETH, 4,700. The next big fib is 7,200. I wonder what's going to happen up here. Then probably major volatility. We'll see. Hold on to your rocket ship, baby dolls, because it's going to be one hell of a ride. Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you in the next one.